Hey guys, welcome to Juicy Tea, where I read out the best stories on Reddit, so you don't have to. The funny, shocking, and satisfyingly juicy. Parent says it's not our business what her son does on a community garden, so we let him get up to his neck in poo. Literally. Posted by Grummelox. This happened a couple of hours ago. The story is so fresh, you can still smell it. On our community garden, we get teams of kids from the local school come to help, and they often turn up on a Saturday morning as well. They're almost entirely well behaved, which is good, as there's not a lot we can do about bad behaviour beyond a stern voice. There's this one lad who came for the first time last week. We don't know him, but we made him very welcome. He only lasted half an hour before storming off in tears after his third telling off for spinning round and round holding a tool and then letting it fly off at head height. This morning his mum came with him. I saw him point out my friend and I, but he didn't ask to join in, so after shouting hello, we let them be. After about 10 minutes, he started wandering off, and my friend shouted, "Don't go behind the greenhouse, mate, it's not safe around there." Well, his mum had obviously been waiting for this because she went from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds flat, demanding to know, do we own this garden? And if not, what business is it of ours where her son goes? We explained that we just want him to be safe, and she replied that she's quite capable of taking care of that herself. Thank you. Fine, on you go then. Off he went, exploring behind the greenhouse, which is not safe because it's a compost heap, which is very unstable, and the muck mound, which is a giant pile of horse manure we get delivered every autumn. By spring, the inside is all nice and rotten down, and the outside is hard and crusty, and less strong than you think. After a minute, there was a crunch, and then a squeal. I think we did well to drag him out without saying, "I told you so," or laughing. He was absolutely black from chest height downwards, and although well-rotted manure doesn't really smell bad, it's very thick and sticky and slimy. His mum grabbed him without a word, and they headed for the gate. He started bawling the second the surprise wore off. My friend said, "Would you like some bin bags to spread out in your car?" And to her credit, she did say thanks when he handed them to her. I wonder if we'll see them again next week. Down in the comments, Passing Judgment 68 says, "Augustus Gloop learned a good lesson today." Or should I say, Augustus Poop. I did this story recently, but there's been a really, I don't want to say juicy, cause gross, but there's been a hell of an update. If you want to skip to the update, the timestamp is in the description. Am I the a-hole for not telling my boyfriend that I won money 15 years ago? Posted by Sweet Cherry Pies. My boyfriend, 35 male, and I, 35 female, were discussing finances as we want to be on the same page. He moved in with me unexpectedly 3 months ago, as his landlord decided he wanted to move into the property with his family. We were discussing finances, and the topic of how I own my own place came up. I explained that I want some money, not a lot, but enough to put myself through nursing school, purchase my own home, and have some savings. Back in 2009, and I bought my place outright, and then rented it out until I moved back into it in 2018. Obviously, I had some luck on my side, as this was right in the middle of the recession, so I got my place for real cheap. He says I deceived him by giving him the impression that I was financially well off, and that I led him to believe that I was more business savvy than I was. I don't know how I did that, because I literally work as a nurse and make decent money, fully own my own home, fully own my own car, and have a decent retirement plan and decent savings. I'm fairly certain that I am financially better off than most people I know. He says he can't trust me anymore, and that he was stupid to have listened to my financial advice. But the thing is, I never gave him any financial advice, except for telling him to not buy a car that was, in my opinion, unreliable and much too expensive. Did I deceive him by not telling him how I got myself financially stable? FYI, we've been dating for almost a year and a half. Update. I just had another very weird conversation with him, and honestly, I can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, so he's definitely a gold digger. He asked me how much money I have in savings, and seemed impressed with how much. He then said, maybe he reacted too aggressively, and then told me that he still wants the car that I advised him not to get. He hinted at me getting it for him as a birthday present, since it's his birthday in early March. I am definitely dumping him. I'm going to wait until my 2 sisters and my 2 brother-in-laws can come over before I break up with him, in case he reacts crazy. He's jealous and also resentful. He's ranting about how he would have tripled the money if he'd won it. By buying expensive, crappy cars? Yeah, I'm sure. He's saying that my money is wasted on me because I don't make it make money. Apparently, I should have been investing my savings in high-yielding stocks and other stuff. FYI, I do get financial advice from a financial advisor I trust. I'm a risk-averse person, so I would never invest it in the manner this idiot is telling me to. Sure, the chance to get a lot of money is there, but so is the chance to lose it all. He's now on a crazy rant because I suggested we take a break from this argument because I don't want to ruin my few days off. My god, I can't believe how he's behaving. He thinks he's so clever, but I'm thoroughly disgusted. Oh, it is absolutely over between us. Update 2. Okay, so I understand him better now. So my house and the property it's on is what led him to believe that I was much richer than I am. He assumed that I was loaded. So me telling him that I actually got lucky pissed him off. Then when he found out how much in savings and assets I have, he perked up and had a change of mind. He's now telling me that just with a quarter of my money, he can show me how to invest in the stock market and make some real money. He is genuinely deluded. He wants you to give him a quarter of your money? You are financially savvy. You bought a house and put yourself through school and saved the rest. You still have your winnings. I mean, your house is probably worth even more now. I bet if he'd gone that windfall, he'd have wasted most of it on luxuries and then gambled the rest away on high-risk investments. Update. So, my sisters and brother-in-laws came over and I asked him to leave. He got very angry and argumentative. While he and I argued, my family packed up all his stuff and put it in his car. He didn't have much at mine, as most of his furniture and other bigger items were already in storage. He couldn't believe that I'd break up with him over such a little thing, as if he hadn't spent 3 days yelling and ranting at me. He finally left and is now staying at his parents' house. His parents called me to ask what happened. I explained the situation and they said it was for the best that we broke up. I didn't see him for a few days, but he called and texted a whole bunch. And it was just him flipping between being regretful for his behavior to raging at my audacity and stupidity. Then I got a call from Mike, one of his friends, and he asked me what happened because my ex-boyfriend was telling people he broke up with me for being a cheater. Apparently, he caught me sleeping with some random dude. I explained the situation to his friend and he laughed, saying he was wondering when he'd bring up his money schemes. So we had a long chat and he told me about how my ex recently lost a lot of money in trading and that's what had him so stressed and anxious, and it's also what pushed him over the edge. Apparently, he was angry with me for not taking the same risks as he takes. He bitched to Mike about me being a risk-averse person. Mike told me to just move on and to change my locks because my ex apparently has a history of being nasty when dumped. Well, he was right because a few days after that, my ex broke into my house and literally shat on my kitchen counter. He was arrested while in the process of evacuating his bowels. I obviously changed the codes to my security system so he couldn't get in with the old codes, and by the time he'd broken into the back door, police were already on their way. He tried to tell the police that he was my boyfriend and lived in their house, but what resident breaks in through the back door of their house, bleeds over the entire hallway, and then takes a dump on their own kitchen counter? He spent the night in jail and was bailed out the next day by his parents. They called to apologize and I told them to never contact me again. I'm also in the process of getting a protection order. I have never dated crazy before and I'm absolutely gobsmacked at his insanity. Am I the a-hole for not helping someone after she almost destroyed my chances of getting a degree and almost destroyed a teacher's career? Posted by Annual Quantity 1905. I, 25 female, worked for a university from the age of 18 to 21. For many years, I felt that university wasn't for me, as although I had good grades, my self-esteem was pretty low, and I thought I wasn't good enough for university, and I couldn't even afford it. I worked as an assistant for various departments, and many of my colleagues who taught students said they could see my potential, and they finally encouraged me to apply. I decided to apply for the university, and I got in. I was also accepted onto 4 scholarships that are designed for students with lots of potential, so I no longer had to worry about applying for student loans and not being able to afford it. Last year, I was meant to be in my final year of university, and I should have graduated, but a student was making up rumours about me and this lecturer having an affair, which didn't happen. The university soon picked up on these rumours and started their own investigation. At first, the lecturer and I had to stay separated, which meant I missed half the classes, as she was one of 2 who was teaching me for the year. 2 months later, the lecturer got suspended with full pay, and 5 days later, the university sent me an email to my personal email account and told me that I was being suspended and that I was not allowed on university grounds and that I was not allowed to contact anyone at the university. The staff who were investigating these rumours fully believed that we were having an affair and were suspended for 9 months so they could find evidence of our affair. As a result of them taking 9 months, I ended up failing the final year, and now I have to retake it. While suspended, these rumours about the affair were spreading around the campus fast, and everyone knew. I had a friend, who I now consider my best friend, who made contact under a secret Snapchat account. He asked my account and said he fully believed me, and started doing his own investigation to find out who it was. After speaking to various students, he finally found some evidence there was a student who made up the rumours. They both started and reported it to the university. He found concrete evidence and took it to the investigation team, who then closed the report and allowed us back on campus. But the student didn't get suspended or punished. All she was made to do is retake the 3rd and final year and had to pay for it, whereas I didn't. Now I'm in class with her and she struggles a lot, and she keeps requesting my help due to me always understanding the assignments and the fact that I know what to do. She's fed up with me for saying no and spoke to our former classmates, and now they're saying I'm an a-hole because I'm keeping a grudge against her because of what she did and the fact that I nearly lost a degree, which I haven't, and they're saying that I should help her out. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help her when she nearly cost me a degree and a teacher her career? But you are helping her. You're teaching her that there's consequences for actions. Remember, I post new content every day, so subscribe for more juicy tea.